As I begin this painting, I'm not thinking about perfection. I'm simply observing this incredible kestrel, its fierce focus, its beautiful markings, and the quiet confidence it carries. Every brushstroke is my way of getting to know this remarkable bird. And today's demonstration, I'm using oil paint on a prepared wooden panel. I'm Janet Ferraro, and welcome to my channel. And this is the reference photo that I'm painting from today. I like to begin by establishing the larger shapes and values first. That gives me a solid foundation before I start adding the smaller details. Instead of trying to paint every feather, I look for the rhythm of the bird, the flow of the wings, the curve of the body, and the direction of the light. I also give myself permission to change my mind during the process, to play with the color and the brush strokes and the mark making to add energy to the piece. One of the things I love most about painting wildlife is that it encourages me to slow down and truly observe. A kestrel is a predator, but is also incredibly graceful. It reminds me that strength and beauty often exist together. The kestrel is also related to a falcon and is part of the falcon family. And I've actually had the pleasure of observing this bird out in the wild. And they're very interesting birds. They're very small in stature, and they hunt in a very interesting way. We used to see them when we go horseback riding in Central California in the backcountry. And now you can see I'm applying pretty thick paint. Some of the thick paint is placed with intention, while other marks happen almost by accident. Those unexpected textures often become my favorite parts because they add life, energy, and they couldn't have been planned. It is truly spontaneous mark making. And as you can see here, I try to change the angle of my brush. Sometimes I tap it with the paint on, sometimes I stroke it, but all of it adds a different texture to the paint surface, and for many parts of the painting, it adds more interest. As this painting develops, I switch between brushes, palette knives, and this silicone painting brush. I love the way this blends color around. It's very expressive. And I also love the texture it creates. There's a lot of happy surprises when you use tools like this. And what's nice also is these different strokes catch the light in different ways, giving the painting another dimension that photographs can never fully capture. And if these tools are interesting to you, check out the video description. I'll have links to them so you can see them and see if it's something you want to add to your own painting venture. And one thing I know for sure, being an artist, painting has taught me patience. It has taught me to trust the process. Not every stage of a painting looks beautiful. Sometimes it feels awkward or unfinished, but if you keep showing up and adding one thoughtful stroke at a time, something wonderful begins to emerge. I think creativity is something every one of us carries inside. It doesn't matter whether you paint, draw, sculpt, garden, cook, write, or build something with your hands. Creating reminds us that we are capable of bringing something into the world that wasn't there before. For me, painting is more than making art. I bet it is for you too. It's like a form of meditation. As I focus on color, light, texture, my mind becomes quieter. The worries of the day begin to fade into the background, and they're replaced by curiosity and presence. And that wonderful feeling of getting lost in time when you paint, I imagine you can relate with that feeling too. I like to call it being in the creative zone. As I continue adding these final layers of paint, I'm thinking less about finishing a picture and more about honoring this beautiful bird. Every highlight, every textured stroke, every splash of color is a small expression of gratitude for the natural world. And I must admit, what an honor to be able to paint this beautiful bird. I am just so pleased and so happy. And as you can see, as I build up this texture, it really adds depth to this piece. And by adding the strokes of color around the bird, it adds energy and life to this painting. I really want to thank you for spending this creative time with me. I hope it inspires you to pick up a brush, create something with your own hands, and discover the joy that creativity can bring to your mind, your body, and your spirit. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you back here really soon. Bye.